Welcome back to another video in the campervan conversion series. In this one I'm going to be building the overhead storage. The overhead storage is again made of these roofing battens, so the first thing to do was to plan it all out, make a cut list and then get all the pieces cut ready for assembly. And then once they're all cut, I assembled the frames. I made these in 3 separate parts, one above the bed, one above the kitchen area, and then one at the front above the seating area. And that was the basic frames made. You can see there that I'm just going to be using a thin bit of fibre board, which will be used as the backing of the cupboard. This will actually hide that small strip that you can see on the ceiling that isn't ply covered. So the frames were attached to the ceiling and the wall using a flexible adhesive and some screws. The screws went into the plywood walls and the plywood ceiling, and at least one screw on each cupboard went into the struts of the van in the ceiling, so it made it really strong. Once they were all fixed in place, it was time to use my new track saw, which I don't know why I didn't buy one of these years ago, because they're probably the best tool that you could have if you're cutting sheet material. So what I'm cutting here are the base panels of the cupboards. Originally I was going to have the screws showing as a feature, which is why I'm lining them up all neatly spaced here, but I decided I would just fill these anyway, so these all got filled in. The cupboard bases were attached using a flexible adhesive and screws. and once the bases were attached, it stopped any racking movement, really strengthening up the cupboards. You'll notice obviously here that half the van's been painted. That's because I did that in between making the cupboard frames and the cupboard bases, but I wanted to include the bases in this video. So as you can see, I finished off by attaching the last two cupboard bases, again just using adhesive and screws. And then it was ready for putting the doors on. That piece of plywood that you can see is just a little test piece, just to see how the hinges were. I'll be making and fitting the doors in another separate video. So there you go. There's the overhead storage all made in the van, which gives you full length storage from front to back, giving you plenty of storage space above your head. In the next video, I'm going to be covering the first coat of paint on everything in the van, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.